specifications. Before we get started though, please like the video if you're a fan of OnePlus, and let me know down in the comments what country you're watching today's video from. So the OnePlus 9 Pro has finally been revealed in hands-on footage thanks to Dave 2D. He's released multiple shots of the OnePlus 9 Pro that show us the design as well as the features. Now first of all, we're going to take a look at the rear. We were expecting a quad camera setup, but not in this particular layout, and something we were not aware of is this Hasselblad branding. Now Hasselblad are a photography company from Sweden, and while they generally make high quality products, we don't see them very often on smartphones. Of course, this isn't the first time that we've seen photography companies partner with smartphones, as it's beneficial to both, but we have to remember this does not automatically make it incredible. Now mobile photography is very different, so we're going to have to wait and see the outcome, but OnePlus have said on a few different occasions that mobile photography is an area of focus, and of course we all know the success that Huawei and Leica have had so far. Now when it comes to the camera array of the OnePlus 9 Pro, the leak reports that we're going to get a regular wide angle, an ultra wide, and then we have a zoom lens. Now the software shows a 3.3 times zoom, but there's no disclosure on the specifics, so it could all be optical or a bit of hybrid zoom going on. We spoke last week about a tilt shift camera, and there's also been more confirmations here. You can see he showed the tilt shift mode on the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now the leak also gives us display information, and it shows that the OnePlus 9 Pro has a Quad HD Plus resolution of 3120 by 1440, and best of all, the user can actually choose. If you want a bit more battery life, you also have the option for a Full HD Plus resolution of 2340 by 1080. Now we also have a choice of 120Hz or a 60Hz refresh rate, and it can reportedly have Quad HD Plus at the 120Hz. There's no mention of variable refresh rates on this screen, so I'm assuming it's just a solid 120Hz at all times. As we expected, we've got a curved display on the OnePlus 9 Pro, and from the image it looks like only a minor curve, which is great. It still gives us that premium look and feel with less of the issues that come with a curved display. We can also see the alert slider and the power button, but the frame is slightly different. Instead of the straight edge we're used to seeing, we've now got an angled cut around the buttons. Now personally I like this, and I think it does give the smartphone some character. We also had a shot of the about page of the OnePlus 9 Pro, and it doesn't give CPU information, but I can tell you with 99.99% confidence it's going to be the Snapdragon 888. Now interestingly enough, we can see 11GB of RAM with 256 storage, and again there's no camera or display information. Now again, I'm 99.9% confident that we're not going to see a variant with 11GB of RAM. Now generally we do see memory in even numbers. While we have had odd numbers in the past as well as other areas of tech, I think this is just due to it being a prototype with unfinished software. There will of course be multiple variants, and it's likely we're going to get a choice between 8 or 12 gigs of RAM. Now of course this is a prototype smartphone, so it could be different when it comes to the final consumer model. We may have different branding, and there's also the chance that these leaks could be fake. Now Dave 2D did advise that the source was actually someone in his Discord that contacted him, so there's no way to verify the leak. It does however look very convincing, so it's going to be interesting to see just how accurate it is. Of course we've got plenty of information for the whole of the OnePlus 9 series, so we're going to run through it now for those of you that want a bit more info on pricing, design and spec. For my regular viewers, you guys have already seen this, so just jump to the next video, but if you are new here then make sure you hit subscribe, and we're going to get right into it. The only leak we've had for the standard OnePlus 9 shows a full screen display with the punch-hole selfie camera, and it's a 6.5-inch 120Hz fluid AMOLED display, but one thing we haven't had confirmed yet is if it's going to be a Full HD Plus or Quad HD Plus. It's going to have HDR10 support, and it's expected to be protected by Gorilla Glass 5 with the in-display fingerprint scanner. On the back we're reportedly getting a quad camera setup with two 48 megapixel sensors along with an 8 and a 5. The phone's going to be powered by the latest Snapdragon 888, and we're expecting a choice of 8 or 12 gigs of RAM, and if the latest leak is correct then we could also see up to 512 gig storage. We're expecting roughly a 4600 mAh battery on the OnePlus 9, and reports are suggesting that we could get a 65 watt fast warp charge along with 30 watt wireless charging. It's going to ship with the latest Oxygen OS based on Android 11, but we're yet to find out if it's going to be IP68 water resistant. No pricing information has been leaked on the standard OnePlus 9, but we're expecting to start around $750 to $800. Next up, we've got the OnePlus 9 Pro. Now, rumours are stating that the OnePlus 9 Pro is going to come with a 6.8-inch 120Hz Fluid AMOLED display with a Quad HD Plus resolution. Again, we get HDR10 support, protected by at least Gorilla Glass 5 and the in-display fingerprint scanner. We've got a punch-hole selfie camera in the top left of the display, and many were hoping for another pop-out selfie camera, but all the leaks are suggesting another punch-hole. On the rear of the OnePlus 9 Pro, we're expecting a quad camera setup with 2 main lenses and an additional 2 sensors. Rumours are suggesting that on the Pro we'll be seeing an upgrade to 64 megapixel sensors, so it could be a 64 plus 64 plus 8 plus 5 setup on the OnePlus 9 Pro. The phone's going to be powered by the latest Snapdragon 888, and we're expecting a choice of 8 or 12 gigs of RAM. If the latest leak is correct, then of course we'll definitely be seeing 512 storage on the Pro. We're expecting a 4800 mAh battery on the OnePlus 9 Pro, and reports are suggesting 65 watt warp charge with 30 watt wireless charging. It's again going to ship with the latest Oxygen OS based on Android 11, and the OnePlus 9 Pro is very likely to be IP68 water resistant. With no pricing information leaked yet, we can only go on estimates, and we're expecting the OnePlus 9 Pro to start around $950 to $1,000. So still, a lot of information is missing on both models, but as soon as we hear anything, I'll be updating you guys straight away. Many manufacturers are bringing their releases forward next year, and we have news that the OnePlus 9 series may actually be doing the same. They'll be changing their launch from April to March. Of course, as soon as we get some more solid information, I'll be sharing it with you guys straight away, but as always, I'd like to know your thoughts in the comments.